19 jump balls. It's a 19th in a row, and we are underway in this college basketball season. That didn't take long.
We talked about the stoppages, right? That was one of the, it's a new rule this year. The officials want to make sure that the ease of play is there, keep the game moving. And we are just a couple of seconds in. We got a stoppage. Looks to be a clock malfunction. Clock never started.
The clock did not start. There were some wires being adjusted. And we're going to get the test.
It's an early season for everybody, right?
Absolutely. Never know what you're going to see at the start of the year. Tennessee and Mercer with their 9th all-time meeting. These teams have not played since 2017, and now we are underway in earnest. In the hands of Jacoby Gillespie, the Maryland transfer, taking over for Zakai Ziegler. And it's Felix Okpara with the first attempt down low, the lone returning starter. We can't get it to go down. Starting 5 for Mercer, only Brady Shoulders returns for the Bears.
Really good defense there from Armani Mighty. You know, you talk about the name that really reflects the type of person that he is, the type of player that he is. All he had to do was go up high, try to deflect, and he did a great job.
And the first shot from Zaire Williams does not go down for the Bears. Starting 5 for Tennessee, mentioned Gillespie, the Maryland transfer. Only Okpara returns. They are really excited about Jalen Carey and his prospects as Nate Ament's first attempt does not go down.
The one thing that if you're, Mercer, you're excited about the fact that you have limited, you haven't given up any offensive rebounds thus far.
With tempo, Boswell to Carey to the rim.
Really good look ahead there. Jalen Carey is going to be upset at himself because he didn't go a little stronger.
Armani Mighty, one of the strongest players in the Southern Conference, will be a big part of the Mercer attack. Here's Baraka Okoji, the transfer from Memphis. Connor Servin to the rim, and he gets it to go. The Virginia Tech transfer with the first bucket of the season.
Really good pass from Okoji.
Tennessee did play an exhibition last week against Duke, a sold-out crowd in the Food City Center. Volunteers lost 83-76 against the Blue Devils. A game where Rick Barnes said his team certainly learned a lot. Ament too strong. Carey the cleanup. Finally converts.
Well, that's what Jalen Carey gives you, right? The transfer from Vanderbilt, really high on this young man because of his body, because of the angles that he uses. Not necessarily going to be a guy that's going to play way above the rim, but utilizes that girth and that strength to get open looks.
Jalen Carey led SEC play in offensive rebounding last year and cleans up his own mess here early. Zaire Williams looking for separation.
Really not a good-looking shot. You can get that anytime you want.
Deflected, and there's an injured Bear on the floor. Servin, as he gets up in a lot of pain, and this will lead to an official stoppage.
Yeah, he does look like he is in a great deal of pain there. And if you're Tennessee, those are conversions that you gotta have. You're playing a live ball 5-on-4. Jalen Carey used the crab dribble. He's just got to go straight up with that and be a little bit stronger.
Rick Barnes now in his 11th season at the helm of the Tennessee Volunteers, signed a lifetime contract in the offseason. Comes into this year as the winningest active coach in Division I. And earlier today, Steve, he was telling us about how much growth potential there is for this team and knows how much better they will get as the season goes on.
I think the biggest thing for him over the summer is the camaraderie aspect, right? The team gets along. They love each other on the court and off the court, so it's a big difference.
3 to shoot. Quentin Perkins into the game. Off the front iron, Boswell the rebound. Bishop Boswell had a lot of playing time in the exhibition against Duke. Brings that defensive intensity as Cade Phillips draws contact on his way to the rim. Head of the bench for the Bears, that would be Ryan Ritter, second-year head coach. And Mercer's coming off a 6-12 season to SoCon last year, but he feels like he's got the right group of new faces to try and make a push at the top 4 bid in the SoCon.
Yeah, new faces and new places.
Yeah.
11 transfers in. And, you know, in this day and age, this economy of college sports, that's going to become a norm, right, with NIL and transfer and all that. But what I really like about him is the fact that, you know, he loves his guys. They're going to go out and they're going to play hard, right? They're going to have some struggles on the offensive end. But, man, again, they're going to hang their hat on the defensive end and make it tough for other teams to score.
Just got a little help with an 0-for-2 trip to the free throw line from Cade Phillips. Tennessee was 10 of 14 at the charity stripe in last week's exhibition.
No, Mike, this is just like a boxing match, right? You know,
Yeah.
you're just kind of feeling one another out. Nerves are there. You look to have one of these teams just settle in and let the game come to them and get off to a good start.
Quentin Perkins the second. Off the glass and in. The all-region transfer from Indian Hills in the JUCO ranks. As Tennessee goes tempo and turns it over.
Yeah, nice move there. You know, when you have the ball reversal right here, you cross over and you can get to the spot. Again, that's one of those shots that you can get anytime you want, but you might as well utilize that full head of steam going downhill, get to the sweet spot and throw it up.
Fresh legs in for the Volunteers. Amari Abram, the Louisiana Tech transfer with the full court pressure. Mighty looking for Williams, who cannot get the bucket, but draws the contact.
Yeah, great backdoor cut. Again, you talk about the continuity that both teams look to employ. That backdoor cut, man, you know, that's not something that you practice a whole lot, man. You just have to know it. So great move that gets them to the line with a chance to go up by more.
Game against Duke, and he talked about following the footsteps of Zakai Ziegler and what that it's not about me, legacy and mentality means to this program. And certainly excited to be back repping the team that he grew up rooting for and playing for, Rick Barnes. Zaire Williams, a perfect trip, and an early 4-point Mercer lead. Ethan Berg, the 23-year-old sophomore, bringing it up for Tennessee.
They couldn't say enough great things about Dwayne Brown and shoot-around. I mean, the kid was, you know, obviously coming out of high school. A lot of schools thought a lot of him, but man, he caught the eye of Coach Brown or Coach Barnes and found a home here.
True freshman out of Hoover, Alabama. Loses the handle underneath. Possession to Tennessee. Dwayne Brown was very effective in the exhibition. Went 5 for 5 from the floor, 10 points off the bench in 13 minutes. He also had 6 boards, 3 from offensive, and a block against Duke as Estrella spins and finishes. He's got 6 quickly.
Yeah, and I think part of that assist has to go to Dwayne Brown, a big-to-big screen to spring Estrella open.
6-0 run for Tennessee. Okogie breaks into it as Baraka Okogie picks up his first bucket.
Coach Barnes isn't going to be happy about that. You can get away with that in high school, making that inbound pass, but at the collegiate level, that can't happen.
Vols by 2, nearly midway through the first half. Barnes said he's everything they thought he would be, plus 10 times more in the few months that he's been on campus.
That play was designed to get Nate the Mint on a sweet spot there. One-on-one.
Jalen Carey tied up underneath, ball on the floor. It is a jump ball. Possession favors the Bears.
So you look at this, and the worst thing that a big guy can do is to bring the ball down, right? So Jalen Carey, man, keep that ball up, chin it, and just go right up with it. And I'm a big, right? And I know that sometimes you want to create that momentum by bringing it down to go up, but it just never works out that way.
Okoji can't connect on the floater. Offensive rebound by Brady Shoulders, a big returner, one of the 3 captains on this team.
Coach Ritter couldn't say enough great things about Shoulders. I mean, just a tenacious kid that gets after it, won't be afraid of the moment. Was, you know, named the captain as a sophomore, voted on by his teammates. So just phenomenal kid.
Ryan Ritter said if,
you know, again, boxing mentality, feel each other out, you know, maybe a jab here or there, but sometimes the major program like a Tennessee full of the stars, man, they're going to hit you with an uppercut and it's going to hurt. So you look at this pin down screen there, Gillespie steps into the shot, knocks it down. Pure.
But Jacoby Gillespie, one of the newcomers for Tennessee, a roster with plenty of new faces, 9 newcomers, including 5 freshmen. Nate Amen, part of that freshman class, but you've got some transfers who bring a lot of experience and a lot of postseason experience to this team.
Well, and, you know, let's not forget about someone like an Amari Abram that has a wealth of experience at the high level. You know, you bring him in as a change of pace. He can knock down the shot, and oh, by the way, he can defend at an elite level too, which we all know. If you're going to play basketball for Coach Barnes, man, you got to defend at a very high level.
Tennessee, a program that's been in the top 10 in Ken Palm's defensive efficiency for 6 of the last 8 years, including 3rd last year. They're the 10th best scoring defense in the NCAA. And are in the midst of a 13-2 run. Mercer won for its last 8 from the floor, and this is the part of the offensive identity the Bears are trying to solve. Who will they go to for a bucket when they need it? Mighty, too strong. Gillespie to the rim. Akpara had it knocked away.
I like the look again by Mighty, right? So if you're a big, you got to counter sometimes. They've already seen your drop step, and then he just goes up quickly with the soft jump hook. Just take your time a little bit more. You know, I think Akpara was flat-footed there. He could have gotten a better look, but that leads Tennessee into transition on the other end.
Another corner 3. This one rattles off the rim. Offensive foul, Felix Akpara.
Pat Adams, man's been doing this for a long time, man. Long time. And, you know, he sees things that he's one of the best, one of the absolute best officials that this game has.
Pat Adams, the crew chief. Jason Parker here, R.B. Clyburn as well. As we get the season underway in Knoxville, Baraka Okoji misses off the glass. Second effort. And draws the contact on his way to the rim.
Yeah, and that's going to be another foul on Felix Akpara. One of the things that Mercer is doing right now, though, is they're getting second chances. You know, sometimes the ball kind of finds you, and it's doing that right now. But again, they're not afraid to get to the glass.
Rocco Okoje knocks down the first, 3rd point of the game, as Rick Barnes does not look thrilled here in the early going. Always teaching moments. Okoje, one of the many transfers that brings big experience to this Mercer roster. 31 games, a couple of starts from Memphis as part of an NCAA tournament team last year. And he wants to get downhill, get to the rim. Ryan Ritter thinks he could be one of the best in the Southern Conference in drawing fouls once they get to league play.
I think he will be, you know, one of the best in league play because of that mentality.
Got his hands on that one, and it leads to a turnover.
Yeah, that's not a great look by Troy Henderson. Got to wait for your big to get his feet set, get those puppies set.
Top of the key, off the back iron, Kyle Cup Jr. The offensive rebound, another chance for Mercer. Okoje with the travel. Gillespie guarding him.
But again, another second chance opportunity leads to another possession. So if you're Coach Ritter, you got to be very, very happy about that, because as long as you have the ball, to my knowledge, the other team can't score when you got the ball.
To my knowledge as well there, partner. I'm with you. Nate Amen working on shoulders. Amen with the size advantage.
Yeah, again, they ran that same play, got Nate Amen to the sweet spot, and it's just one-on-one, man. I'm just going to be taller, stronger than you, and I'm going to get the shot off anytime I want to. They can get that basket from Nate Amen, and it's just great offense.
He's made his last 2 attempts from the floor. Tennessee now leads by 7, just over 8 minutes left in the first half. Mighty tied up underneath. Cuff with the 3 off the front iron. Amen. A little slow to get up.
And this is what we thought. You know, Mercer doesn't shoot the ball particularly well. They shoot a great clip from the three-point line, and you can see right now that they struggle, which is all the more reason why they have to be so steadfast in their discipline in terms of playing defense.
Amen. Baseline. Turns it over. That's part of what is the big draw for Nate Amen, his ball handling skills. And still getting comfortable in his first collegiate start, but he's working his way into the box score.
Pure shot, man. It's going to be a heck of a... But when you get to conference play, man, all things being even, I think they're going to play very, very well as long as they can score the basketball regularly.
Let's go over to Sarah.
Well, you guys mentioned Brady's shoulder, and Coach Ritter told us this is my 18th year coaching, and I'm not sure that I've ever had a sophomore voted team captain. And it's not just because of how he approaches the game of basketball, but it's how he approaches his everyday life. Coach Ritter even told us a story. He said, hey, if they called me up tomorrow to be the head coach at Duke, you better believe I'm taking this guy with me, and when you watch him play, you'll know why. He says it says a lot about who he is and where we want to take this program.
Tough. He's a winner, won a state championship at Lyon County in Kentucky, and Coach Ritter called Brady Shoulders a psycho in a good way.
You know, anytime you call someone a psycho, you have to make sure you follow it up with saying, hey, yeah, I mean that in a good way.
That's right.
In the best possible way. But I think if you look at him, right, and you look at the look on his face, the expression, right, it doesn't change. Highs, lows, it doesn't change. He's a calming presence for Mercer, and every team needs that.
Amen inside. Brown through the contact. Dwayne Brown finishes.
Really like Dwayne Brown's game, man. You know, the ball will find you. There's sometimes you get the fortuitous bounces, but man, he has a knack for getting to the basketball and being in the right spot at the right time.
Mercer looking for a goaltend.
His second team six.
Don't think they're going to look at this, and I don't know that coach is going to challenge. You know, we got a lot of new rules this year,
yes,
man. You got to become accustomed and acquainted to these new rules.
The challenge is new to college basketball this season. A coach can ask to initiate a video review if they have a timeout left. If you're successful, you keep the challenge. If not, you lose the timeout. So in this first year, I have a feeling many coaches are going to stash that late timeout as we take another look.
That was pretty close. But I think that the ball was blocked before it got to the backboard. More importantly, you know, for Coach Barnes and Tennessee basketball, Gillespie, I think, picks up his second foul in the process.
Gillespie and Akbara each with 2 fouls. And Goje knocks down a pair. Perfect 4 for 4 from the line and leads the Bears with 6 of their 14 points. Brown inside to Estrella. JP Estrella in traffic underneath, and another takeaway for Mercer. Brady Shoulders got in there.
Well, and that's Tennessee's 9th turnover of the basketball game.
Mercer make him pay for it. Shoulders is blocked.
If you're Coach Ritter, you got to be exceedingly ecstatic about where you are in this basketball game. You're down 7 points, hostile environment on the road, 6 minutes left. How do you do that? Well, I tell you what, you limit your turnovers because you only have 1 thus far, and you steal the ball 6 times. Tennessee, on the other hand, has 8 turnovers and no steals.
Turnover there by Mercer. As Ethan Berg looked inside, nothing there. Berg, a sophomore, played a couple seasons in the Israeli Super League before starting his college basketball career. Inside to Estrella, who finishes at the rim.
Well, Ethan, that's a really good pass, right? Reach around pass. You know, he waited for his big to get the feet set, which is something we didn't see moments ago, and it just makes for an easier offensive possession for the big to get the ball up, to get it to go in.
It's Estrella with the takeaway. Berg with the vision. Boswell saved him.
To play because he's missed so much playing time, but it's evident the guy that was Mr. Maine basketball has the broad shoulders, man. He can carry the load on the interior, runs the floor well, can step outside and shoot the 3. So looking forward to big things on Rocky Top from JP Estrella as well.
8 points to lead all scorers in the game. That ties a career high for JP Estrella. You mentioned it only played 3 games last year before needing a foot surgery to miss the remainder of the year. 25 games off the bench as a freshman for Estrella. He said that sitting out all of last year got him locked in on the little details, the baby steps that it takes to be great, and that really the biggest change was his body and changing it into more muscle mass in the weight room when he couldn't do basketball activity.
Well, and sometimes it gives you a different perspective when you're sitting on the bench. You see what Coach Barnes wants. Great hustle play there from Avery.
That's certainly what Coach Barnes wants, as Zaire Williams comes up short on the 3.
But going back, you know, it just gives you you look at basketball through a different lens, and you learn the game.
In and out of the hands of Ethan Berg. Exits as Gillespie comes back in. Berg got to campus in September, 4 days after his 23rd birthday. Added almost 10 pounds in 6 weeks. Certainly another emphasis of this Tennessee program, stronger in the weight room. Jacoby Gillespie applies the full court pressure.
Too much dribbling if you're a coaching.
And the long 3 won't go. Mercer now 1 for its last 14 from the floor as Pierre can't connect.
Another offensive rebound leads to a layup for Mercer. I mean, if you're Coach Barnes, man, I would not want to be in film session tomorrow because I'm exceedingly happy about the fact that you're down only 12 to the number 18 ranked team on their home floor. So you got to be happy about that.
The program, including Jacoby Gillespie, who comes in running the point. Gillespie 5 points on 2 of 7 shooting in the first half as Nate Ament has it poked away. The Bears immediately force a turnover, and Perkins cannot cash the triple.
Yeah, another opportunity for Mercer, you know, to knock down a triple and get some rhythm. But Tennessee again turns the ball over on their very first possession. Now you compound it on your second possession by picking up just a cheap foul from Jacoby Gillespie. Again, you don't have to do so much. Just let the game come to you.
That's something Rick Barnes said after the exhibition. He felt like there were guys trying to play outside of themselves. How do you slow it down, Steve, and just exhale and play the game?
You know, for me, I'm going to try to get someone else a bucket, right? And that tends to get people into a rhythm, gets them into a flow. You get an assist, man. Then you settle down. Then you get a good look. good clean look, and you settle down even more, and then all of a sudden you find yourself into a rhythm.
7 to shoot. Brady shoulders through traffic. Jalen Carey causing the congestion, but shoulders still hanging tough on the defensive end. Brady Shoulders, the sophomore returner who played in all 33 games last year, 24 starts. Led all SoCon freshmen with 5.8 points per game, and his steal and a half per game led this Mercer team. He's a guy that can play sort of all over the floor, 6'6", 200. He's in that sort of no man's land positionally, but that'll lead to a lot of different looks for Brady Shoulders.
Well, toughness makes up for size.
Yes.
And when you take a good look like Brady Shoulders did on that initial run, you know, in the SoCon, you'll be able to get that shot off. But here at this level, it's going to be blocked or the shot's going to be altered. But he didn't give up on the play, got back into it, and it led to a foul, his third foul on Felix Akbar, that is. I think, Mayan, if there's one word that describes Tennessee thus far tonight, is kind of disjointed, right? Not a real flow. Certainly you want to clean that up here in the second half.
Quentin Perkins from the elbow, able to knock it down. Now 6 points for Quentin Perkins, tied for the team high for Mercer.
Really good look from Perkins.
Estrella too strong, and the rebound by Zaire Williams. Someone Ryan Ritter calls a dog, is looking for that physical contact underneath. Raka Okoji, down and out, offensive board, a second chance. It was Mighty with the board, and Williams who heads to the line.
Really like what Mercer's doing here, man. They're attacking on both ends of the floor, not backing down, getting to the line. You know, they were able to get to the line a few more times in Tennessee. But you look at that, man, just that between the legs dribble creates that space, step back, and knocking the shot down, man. That's a good-looking jumper.
Zaire Williams at the free throw line. He made a couple in the first half. Williams, the grad transfer out of Wagner. He was third-team All-NEC last year, part of the NEC all-defensive team, starting 24 games up there in Staten Island. Over 14 points per game. Another guy Mercer will turn to on the offensive end as they try to create their identity that side of the ball. Estrella to work. Too strong again. Offensive rebound. Boswell's three is no good. Jacoby Gillespie underneath, Carey, and the foul.
That's the size, the strength that you see from Jalen Carey, right? Great utilization of the dribble from Gillespie to get to the paint, dumps it off. And that bump, man, that's not going to bump Jalen Carey out of that shot, man. He's going to be able to get that off over anyone. But it was a second look opportunity, right? Second chance opportunity led to that basket.
And he completes the three-point play. Jalen Carey, the transfer from Vanderbilt, who began his career at JMU. Highly touted prospect out of South Florida. He's got very athletic genes. And a big bruiser in the paint for Tennessee. Shoulders comes up empty. Now the Vols can stretch the lead. Carey downhill with the smooth attack. Can't finish at the rim. Estrella stepped out.
That's a big man stream right there, right? Just going down the floor, Euro step.
A little more on Jalen Carey's brother. Vernon Jr., National Player of the Year at Duke a couple years ago. His dad, national champion at Miami. Played for the Dolphins for nearly a decade in the NFL. Shoulders, too strong. Bishop Boswell with the board and draws the foul.
So, you know, with this lineup on the floor right now, you look at, you still got some size. You're a little smaller on the perimeter. But what these guys have to realize is this is an open audition. Like everyone's auditioning for more playing time. We talked to Coach Barnes about this in shoot-around. You know, he's still trying to get a feel for this basketball team, the rotation for this basketball team. So you want to maximize every single moment that you're out there on the floor.
It's a team with a lot of depth and will certainly bring plenty of different looks. And so far in this audition, Steve,
Sometimes you throw it up, man, in hopes that it's going to go in.
Where did that come from? Troy Henderson with a couple triples. And the freshman's got 6 off the bench. 13-3, Tennessee run. Mercer 1 for its last 8. Brady Shoulders draws another foul. How about Troy Henderson coming to life?
You know, sometimes, man, the ball will find you late shot clock, and you just got to have the confidence to knock it in. He shot it with rhythm, with confidence, and man, you know, he ran down the floor like I meant to do that.
Just how you draw it up. So Henderson with 6 quick points, all from beyond the arc in his 7 minutes off the bench. Corner look off the front iron for Benji Pierre. Second chance for Mercer. Can they make it count? Cuff Jr. with the teardrop. No. Battling for the board, and it's Phillips who wins it.
Well, the one thing that you can say about Coach Ritter's basketball team is they have not given up, right? They're continuing to crash the glass, knowing that, you know, they are really struggling to shoot the ball from the perimeter. You know, they've got to get those second chance opportunities, so they haven't given up.
Takeaway, Boswell turns it over as Pierre on the interception.
That's just another unforced turnover. Make the simple pass, right? A to B, not A to C.
15 turnovers tonight for Tennessee, but Mercer with just 9 points off of them. Tristan Gross knocks it down. Foul called on the floor.
Again, we talk about the fact that, you know, you look at Tennessee and all that they have. You take that off the 5 that we're just playing, and you bring in a fresh 5, with the exception of Kate Phillips. Looks like he's going to stay, but man, they just come at you in waves. So this team will collectively get better and better and better because they will learn to play with one another.
It's a team where you've got to be excited about the depth, and Rick Barnes certainly is. Foul called on Mercer. On Gross, guarding Ament. Next foul puts Tennessee in the bonus. Ament has it poked away. Shoulders got his hands in there.
That's another set piece that you're trying to get Nate Ament there. But if you're going to be the passer, you've got to understand that there could be a weak side defender. Because, you know, although Mercer is small, I mean, they scout. They know what's there. So you got to make smarter passes.
13-3 run. Tennessee's opened up a 20-point lead here at home.
Asking all the right questions, man. Just an excellent pickup for the Mercer basketball staff.
I think Michael Jordan might be the Langston Hall of Wilmington, of Chapel Hill, of Chicago. Who knows?
Could be.
Langston Hall bringing a lot of experience to this Mercer bench. He was part of that Mercer team that upset Duke in the NCAA tournament and actually played Tennessee in the round of 32 in Raleigh over a decade ago.
You were at that game.
That's right.
I believe you were there.
That's right. Watch the Bears take down a young Grayson Allen and Coach K and company, one of the biggest wins in Mercer program history. Quiet night so far for Ament.
Mercer's going back to that matchup zone. Look for Tennessee to get the ball on the interior.
10 seconds on the shot clock. It's Dwayne Brown inside who goes to work and gets the bucket.
Man, great footwork from the young guy, man. You know, you saw that his path to the basket was cut off. Reverse pivot there. Really, really good move.
Rick Lawrence called him the biggest surprise, right, of this team so far, and it's the whole package, the basketball IQ, the agility, and the ability to adapt into this collegiate level at such a quick pace.
Well, you talk about him as well. He's hungry, right? And he comes in not knowing everything, obviously being a freshman, but he is a sponge, and he's learning the game on the fly. Sometimes, Mayan, as a big guy, man, you worry about all of the ancillary things. I got to get my footwork right. I got to keep the ball up. I got to do all these things. Sometimes you just come in, man, see ball, go get ball, put ball in the basket. Just come in and work. And that's what he has done right now. And it's been very advantageous for him and for Tennessee basketball.
Loudest the Food City Center has been tonight. I think there are chicken sandwiches on the line. Our mighty trying to play spoiler.
Oh!
Brown hustling in the corner.
Man, a free 8 count. Take that.
There you go.
Are there any stipulations for us, though, sitting over here on the court side?
You know, I don't know. We'll check back on that.
We like Chick-fil-A, too.
Who doesn't? Great crowd in the Food City Center for the season opener. Tennessee's had one of the top averages of attendances in the country over the last decade. It was sold out for the Duke exhibition. Over 21,000 here for that one.
Nathan Minnis just so smooth, handling the ball, aware of his surroundings.
Ethan Berg creates space. Long two, too strong. Knocked around. Amen. Picks it up.
Nate is just going to get better and better, right, as he continues to grow into his body. You know, you don't mind that shot from Ethan Berg, but you got the one extra pass. You have, as a guard, man, you got to keep your eyes up. You got the one extra pass. You had a flasher right in front of you. You could get the ball to for an easy layup.
13th McDonald's All-American in Tennessee's program history. Nate Ament, the third top 5 recruit in Tennessee basketball history. Rick Barnes said he's a guy that could have came in the front door with a whole lot of ego, with all those accolades and all of the projections, but he checked it all at the door and really thought that his humility was perhaps the most remarkable thing about him, how much he wants to grow as a basketball player.
Well, it speaks volumes that he goes out and he serves the community of Knoxville, you know, and it's fall in love with him more and more.
Cannot finish there. After the Zaire Williams triple on the other end from Mercer. Williams inside to Mighty. Working on Brown. Back to Williams. He lost the handle.
Really good move by Williams. Split the defenders. Got to the spot. He's going to be rewarded now.
Felix
Mercer's doing a really good job of just hanging around. But this is going to pay dividends for them, you know, when it gets to conference play.
Williams empty on the front end of the 1-and-1. So the ball's by 20, under 10 to play. Amari Abram to the rim, swatted. Pierre got his hands on it. And Tennessee basketball.
Well, if you're Amari, you turn the corner. The help side defender had come over to help. You got to throw that up to Felix Akpara. But again, it's the continuity. It's getting to learn one another's games, getting to learn, you know, the natural tendencies from your teammates.
player, and obviously the Rick Barnes connection, but you saw maybe a little Victor Wembanyama in him, even though Nate's a little smaller.
He's a lot smaller, but I'm telling you, man, it's just the makeup. You know, he's kind of wiry frame, got the long arms, can shoot the ball, can handle the ball. You know, he's going to be a really, really good player.
He feeds Jalen Carey inside. Off the back iron, rebounded by Mighty. Mercer just 12 of 53 from the floor. Koji, too strong off the glass, knocked around. Amen has it. Amen lost it. And Amen draws the foul.
Yeah, another teachable moment for Nate Ament, right? You know, when you collected that rebound, the first thing that you've got to look at is up the floor and count the number of jerseys up the floor that don't look like yours. If you see 4, that means someone's behind you, someone's lurking. So you got to always have that, you know, in the forefront of your mind.
Rick Barnes said it was likely the most physical game he's ever played in his life, that exhibition against Duke. Still so much room to grow as a player. Nate Ament, the freshman out of Manassas, Virginia. The youngest of 4, and really got into basketball during the pandemic. He said he and his brother would go play outside, and Steve, you know how it goes. Little brother doesn't get any bucket for free, and that's where he learned the physical toughness of going out on the blacktop each and every day and just finding a way to get it done.
Yeah, I like Nate in that, man. I have 5 older brothers, man, that weren't going to give me anything. There's no easy pathway to the basket, so you just have to learn to utilize angles and strength, and it will come.
It's not been a good night at the free throw line for Tennessee. 3 of 7 for the Volunteers. Monty Mighty in the low post. And a smooth finish for
Mercer, man. Get the ball to him and let him go to work.
8 points now for Mighty. That is second on the Bears. Back to a 20-point ball game. Amen inside. Carey got the contact. Big size advantage over Zaire Williams inside. Tennessee leads by 20, 7:23 remaining in the ball game. Ninth in the SEC, and part of a year that included 123 threes from Chaz Lanier, which is a single season program record. So part of that will fall on the shoulders of number 0, Jacoby Gillespie. He's got a couple threes, as does the freshman Troy Henderson.
Well, I'll tell you something else that's going to be, you know, a little bit alarming, and hopefully that will not be the trend if you're Tennessee, is your free throw shooting. You know, you mentioned it just a few minutes ago. Their first made free throw came early in the second half. You know, and you were 0 of 2 in the first half in terms of free throws. So you can't have that. When you've got the size that you employ, you got to be able to get the ball in the interior, either get fouled or score a bucket.
The old adage, right, is you want to make more free throws than the other team attempts. And right now, neither team completely checking both those boxes, but it's Mercer that has been better at the free throw line as Okoji knocks one down. Baraka Okoji, Memphis transfer, was a great player at DME Academy in his prep career. Went to George Mason. Got some valuable experience playing for Penny Hardaway, including in the NCAA tournament. A couple of free throws for him. He's got 11, and he's got a steal.
Yeah, another poor possession from Tennessee. I mean, that's a lot of things that you've got to clean up. And you compound that if you're Gillespie by getting up in the air. Look, you're not a shot blocker. There's no need to leave your feet to get up in the air. You got guys behind you that can block shots. You just need to take care of the basketball, stay on the floor, contest with high hands.
So Gillespie commits the foul. It is his 3rd of the game. 17 turnovers committed by Tennessee. As Okoji knocks in the first.
But Mayan, as we mentioned before, you know, Coach Ritter's got to be proud of this basketball team that he's got on the floor. They're continuing to fight. They could have just mailed it in when they got down by 20. But man, slowly but surely they've gotten to the line with the clock being stopped, and now it's a 17-point game.
Biggest thing he told his team at shoot around today was that Tennessee is going to get shots, but he wanted to ensure that it was the shots they were forcing. Emphasize communication between his guys on the floor, and so far, Steve, certainly have created a little discomfort for the orange and white.
They have. You know, attention to detail.
Yeah.
Making sure that you're where you're supposed to be, making sure that you communicate effectively.
Another turnover, the 18th tonight for Tennessee.
If you're Felix Akpar, you're expecting to get that ball just a little bit higher. But at the same time, there's no excuse, man. You got two hands on it. You got to catch that ball, go up strong. This is not the type of situation that Coach Barnes wants, you know, to have his team not play well down the stretch of a basketball game.
A half, he's got 10.
Good set play there, pin down screen to get Williams open. So now all of a sudden it's a 14-point lead.
7-0 Mercer run. They're 4 of their last 5 from the floor. Tennessee doesn't have a field goal in the last 2.5 minutes of gameplay. Will that change here? Yes, Phillips.
Well, again, get the ball in the interior, right? You've got the size, you've got the mismatch. It's a simple game. Sure, Jalen Carey missed it, but when you have someone like J.P. Estrella with the long arms that can go right up and tip it back in without, you know, coming down with it, it's just a simple basketball game. Look at the pin down screen here. Native Mint gets caught up, gets trapped on that screen, and pays the price.
Another tip in for Estrella. He leads Tennessee with 12 points tonight. New career high for J.P. Estrella. 12 points in his 15 minutes.
13. Great timeout by Coach Ritter. Maybe a great shooting percentage. And Mercer right now, they're gaining confidence. They may not necessarily win this particular basketball game, but you're not just playing for the night. You're playing for the future. And man, they are putting it all together right now.
That's something Ryan Ritter told Sarah in that halftime interview. 1 of 17 from 3 in the first half, trying to clean up some of those look and finding more rhythmic threes. They've certainly been able to do that as of late. 3 for the last 3 from the floor, from beyond the arc for Mercer. As Tennessee has been a little discombobulated. Nate Amen draws the contact. Major 7 fouls in that exhibition game against Duke. Rick Barnes said he thinks that may be one of the strongest tools in his belt by the end of the year.
I think it will be because, you know, collegiately, he is going to get stronger. You know, there's a college strength that comes with maturity and playing against someone like a Boozer, because that's an eye-opening experience. You know, Mime, you got a guy that is gifted in terms of his strength with Boozer, and you're battling him all night long. Well, that gets your body up to speed, and then all of a sudden, man, I can utilize my strength and my angles and my length to get the shots that I want. And he's gonna be rewarded by going to the free throw line a lot this year.
Got 11 points tonight on 4 of 8 shooting. It's 4 of 6 from the free throw line in the exhibition against Duke. 2 of 4 tonight. He knocks down the first. Well, he certainly checks the measurables box.
And the 207 is only going to grow, right? Not measurably when you look at what he's going to do this season. It's going to be the off season, and whether he's here for another year on Rocky Top or not, or he goes on, matriculates to the next level, that will grow. But man, you can't teach 6'10", Mayan. You can't teach it, man.
He's one of 5 guys on this roster with a wingspan over 7 feet tall. But, you know, I can relate with Nate, man. I put on 20 pounds my freshman year at college, too. A little different physical makeup on that end, though. Amen. Only going to rise in terms of his play.
Look, Mine, it's feast season, man.
That's right. That was mighty. And boy, was he.
I would have liked to see the ball get into him just a little bit more in this particular basketball game because, man, he's got some craftiness to him as well. Can utilize his strength, angles. Look, you got it right here. A little quick drop step spin move. Get to the baseline now. We'll go back in front of you. Get to my dominant hand and put it right up in your face.
Monty Mighty, a player that the Mercer coaching staff believes can really excel high at the Division I level, perhaps in a Power 4 level. He comes in every day as a yes sir, hard-working type of guy, the redshirt junior out of Toronto. A couple of stops at Boston College and Central Michigan as well. And Bishop Boswell at the line for Tennessee. Sophomore guard out of Charlotte. Four-star recruit coming out of Myers Park. 28 games off the bench last year.
Yeah, lane violation there.
Get another chance. So Bishop Boswell now 5 points tonight.
I like that Tennessee went to a little pseudo full court pressure there. Try to slow down this rhythm that Mercer has developed.
Gillespie stepped out.
Incredulous to the call. We have the benefit of the replay here. And he did. He absolutely did. More times than not, though, players are going to say, man, hey, that wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Mighty looking for another bucket. Working on Okpara underneath. Out to Gross. Can't convert through the contact.
First empty possession for Mercer in quite some time.
Gillespie off the iron. Second chance.
Be there. That's the difference in maturation. You look at someone like Jacoby that's been around the Big Ten. Now he's in the SEC. That's his game, man. You come around the corner, deadly shooter, or I can throw it up for my big man to go upstairs to throw it down. Great utilization. Ball handoff. I'm going to go up and get it. Great tandem here on Rock.
You have a timeout. You're allowed to initiate a video review. If you win it, you keep the challenge and the timeout. Tennessee did not. So they lose the timeout. Now just have 2 left.
And it's worth the challenge.
Yep.
It's worth the challenge, right? What do you got to lose? And if you're Coach Barnes, your staff, you think you see that you may have something worthy of a challenge, especially in a game like this, more times than not, that it's not going to mean a whole lot. But, man, you get to see the system play itself out live in action. And everybody's getting used to the new toys. The challenges and the ease of play, the and one, the game kind of moving towards the NBA game. So, lots to learn.
Nate Amen creates space, creates a basket.
Look out, SEC. When this kid develops that confidence to be able to 1-2 dribble, pull up, pop, look out.
15 points in his collegiate debut. Nate Amen leading Tennessee offensively. Mighty tied up.
We just talked about the new rule there, right? Last year, that would have been stoppage in play. 2 shots, but you go back on the other end, man. You got a little pin down screen to Felix Akpara, made a man, 2-3 dribble, man. Jab, step back, knock it down.
It was Amari Evans just into the game who's called for the foul. And it sends Armani Mighty back to the free throw line. Mercer 14 of 18 from the line tonight. Mighty 0 for 3. Now 0 for 4. Gets his own board. Swatted away. Akpara underneath, doing what he does best. Amen. Down and out. Akpara there. Estrella 2. Nobody able to finish. And it's Mercer basketball.
Well, that's the type of situation there. If you feel like Akpara, man, I like the effort by going up with one hand, but if you can go up with one, you can go up with 2, right? And just try to, you know, put it in with 2.
There will be a lot of firsts in the career of Nate seasons ago. Koje earns the basket for Mercer. Amen earns the whistle.
Mercer doing a great job continuing to fight. You know, you look at this possession here, high ball screen, wrong foot layup. You're always taught, man, opposite hand, opposite foot, but man, you really can thwart a shot blocker by going up because it throws the timing off. So he's right-handed, goes off the right foot, lays it up and in.
Two minutes left. It is Tennessee by 18 in the season opener. Rocco Koji, 15 points to lead Mercer, trying to create some space. Mighty with the rebound. Mighty with the finish.
Now, if you're Tennessee, that absolutely cannot happen. Given all the size that you've got down low, Mighty wedges his way in and is able to finish, man. That can't happen.
Timeout, Tennessee.
Timeout here on the floor. Tennessee comfortably in front with 94 seconds remaining in this one. If you're the Volunteers' biggest takeaways going into tomorrow, what's the first thing you circle in the box score?
First thing that I'm circling if I'm the Volunteers is the turnovers.
Yep.
Your assist to turnover ratio is not good tonight, and that's being kind. You have done some really good things. You've gotten better in the second half, but the fact that there's lots to clean up. The number 1 rule in basketball is to take care of the basketball and give yourself an opportunity to score.
Akpara can't score there. 19 turnovers tonight for Tennessee, compared to just 4 for Mercer. But the Volunteers' depth and size imposing its will.
Well, you got Mighty right there, right where he wants to be on the right block. Gets to that shoulder. Again, you got an opportunity if you're Tennessee to limit that possession. Good defense, and somehow or another, Shoulders kind of gets in there, creates some space, and gets rewarded by going to the free throw line. Secondarily, other than the turnovers, offensive rebounds. Mercer in this particular game, as of the last time out, they had 16 offensive rebounds.
Over half of their rebounds have been on the offensive end. 16 offensive rebounds out of 31 for the Bears tonight. 1 for 2 trip for Shoulders. Under a minute left. Clarence Masamba, the ball in his hands. The freshman out of Paris. Mari Evans is looking for Masamba. Tennessee basketball.
6 seconds on the shot clock. So, you know, look for one of the patented out of bounds pieces that Coach Barnes has. He's only got 1 million of them. About that triple from Vilak Akbar, he shot that as if it was like, man, that's what I do.
He made 1 3-pointer all of last year. Did make one in the exhibition game and said, who knows, maybe I'll add it to my arsenal this year.
Look, he made a 3. The dude